I'll show you suffering! I'm supposed to say nice things to people watching this, I guess. Yes, there's no side quest, but I'm still doing a show because I know that many of you really can't bear to go another week without seeing me. And I'm here for you. Apparently it's not live. Apparently the jackass who I've employed to make this happen doesn't schedule things in advance. Apparently it's not in his wheelhouse or something. I'd be a lot angrier, but I don't know how the fuck it works either. So here we are. Gods be damned. I mean that. Iris. God of craftsmanship technology. Massive brass balls. Ostensibly. I declare they are rusted to oblivion. Well, look on the bright sides. Normally on a given side quest, I don't pay attention to any of you. Why? Because it's McGog's show and he might get territorial about it or something. I don't know. Also, I'm more concerned about the rest of them. They might have me killed. Well, actually, only really about 2 of them have the capability to kill me for any given span of time. Well, over the course of the span of the show, they're all capable. Even Poe is technically capable, if I were easily goaded into laughing like a buffoon. Yes, this is why I question his grasp at this point. Look, I spent years in service to Iris. Well, trying to make use of Iris. No, fine, I'll be honest about it. It's not like I'm really part of that particular cult anymore. Fine. Are you reveling in my death, Casbah? The show, as I understand it, begins in another, 23 minutes. The reason being is that it's supposed to happen before regular side quests, but not last over it. And again, previous scheduling dead space is not in the wheelhouse of the suckers I've been taking advantage of. I mean, no, that's exactly what I mean. No corrections necessary. Never mind! Things you can look forward to over the next hour upon the start of the show. Well, basically, any money you throw should be through the description link. I'm obligated to do so. That goes to the Wicked Guild. Will ostensibly be separated properly at length. But no deaths are involved. You can't kill me. Deal with it. You want... What the hell is a void squirrel? Honestly, if His Very Majesty could reach you, you would be in so much trouble for referring to him as a void squirrel. And since he can't reach you, I'm most concerned for myself right now, should they hear and take offense. Which they probably aren't, but it's really not worth gambling on for me. Honestly, I'd rather piss straight in Magog's face than run afoul of that thing. And that noble creature again. Yes, my sentiments exactly Octane Junkie, but I have restrictions. Look, I can say Void Squirrel all I want, because it's irrelevant. Void Squirrel, Void Squirrel, Void Squirrel. Squirrel is in dangerous territory, granted. But my terror and concern for the dangerousness of the territory is, in its own way, probably helping keep me safe. Look. I didn't make the rules, and it's... Look, it's in Magog's hands. If some wealth should come pouring in this fashion, then he might see fit to give me a larger cut of it. Maybe. You should... Look, I don't get a cut unless you throw it in there, so you should probably throw it in there. Oh, on that note, again, you can't kill me, so here's how it works when we do go properly live, as it were. No deaths. You aren't going to kill me. Those of you who hate me, I assume this is going to hurt you very much, and I will revel in that, gratuitously. What will happen is, for one Cygna, I will say thank you. For 2 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 3 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 5 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 6 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 7 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 8 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 9 Cygnas, I will say thank you. For 10 Cygnas, I will say thank you and will make a point of reading out whatever you put in the message. Prior to that point, I reserve the right to make it entirely optional. Cheapskates. For 11 Cygnas, I will say thank you and the same. 12 same. 13 same. 14 same. 15 same. 16 same. 17 same. 18 same. 19 same. For 20 Cygnas. The sort of money should be throwing on a side quest to give me 2 minutes free of those fools! I will pontificate on any subject you want to hear pontificated upon, while the curtain raises for 2 minutes. You know what that means. Oh, weapons wish list. Yes, I think I covered this while you were at the apothecary. A proper warhammer, I think. It's pumping iron by smashing someone else's vitals. Ooh, crowhammer. Those are very nice. Although I'm not sure if I can handle the grief from Poe if I go that route. By the way, Arcane Junkie, I want to stress my appreciation for the various contributions you made to my personal armory. It's really made a lot of people nervous around here, and God's bless you for that. Well, I've got maces, and I do have a rather embarrassing hammer/axe. I've chopped with it before, but honestly, I'm probably lucky it hasn't broken on me for doing so. Craftsmanship isn't all that great. Oh, the needle of the compass, by the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. Remains beautiful. It's becoming a bit of a legend here. Mostly because everyone thinks it's magic, but people who can tell what is magic also recognize it is not magic, and they don't know what to make of that, and the looks on their faces is worth their weight in gold. Well, not on a market, of course, but to me. To me. Nexus, do not mention that brine-soaked digital beat in my presence! Yes, well, look, if it can be used to smash, cut, or otherwise ruin an individual, to some inevitable degree, I love it. And certainly, I love every tool to this end you have presented. Warhammer on one end, crow's beak on the other. That's got to be just the way to really make the most of bending armor in on a knight on the broken shin. So I can watch them stumble around. Not that I have any issue with knights. Most knights are on the side of Sarthos. Most of them. Not all of them. As you might have noticed the last side quest. Well, I suppose he's sort of on my side. Garrick the Boulder, and it's spelled like the rock boulder. Ostensibly because he's unstoppable, I think it's because he's dumb as a rock. Has license to bash my head in on Magog's orders. And so long as he doesn't mess with me otherwise or try to move my corpse anywhere, I've agreed that this is perfectly reasonable. And have vowed no retribution onto him. But that hammer hurts. It's only happened once so far, but it hurts. I can't really hold that against him. War doll. I've never heard the phrase war doll before. It does sound more like Octane's description, personally, if you ask me. I don't want to comment on this on the fear it might make me look soft. So I won't. And you should assume I'm a terrible, mean person who really enjoys torturing absolutely everyone and everything who falls in my dungeons. Which, of course, I mean, why should you doubt that for a second? I'm a very nasty wasty. Hold on, which audience should I tell this for? The people who think I'm the light of salvation, of society and civilization, my fellow Sarthosians, or am I trying to gain the regard of villains here? I'm a bit fuzzy on who my audience really is. Look, suffice to say, I am whatever makes you like me better. In fact, you should probably like me more than you do, accordingly. Especially more than your topsy-turvy world's doppelganger, classless, cultureless, fashionless, dipshit and ostensible scientist. Not that even he claims that, does he? What was he? Super science HR guy? I have no idea what that means. The hell? The hell was that? I seem to be viewing some sort of tattooed cloud. Get it off. That's better. Mean of the word mongoose, I wasn't referring to you. I have no idea if you're classless or not. I mean, I'm inclined to uncharitably assume, but since I don't have meaningful evidence, I will refrain for now. Kilo basta. Like hot dogs. Oh, so you're Korean? You know, Snoopy, I believe some guy named Shrubby hypothetically threw a rock at me already. You know, that doesn't really happen in real life. Not in my life, anyway. It's very rare for things to get thrown at me. Mostly because I don't typically wander around in public without a heavily armed entourage that will stab anyone who tries, or even kind of looks like it, or who just gets in my way. Oh, I have this premonition that now I'm going to be smashed by a rock in the not distant future. I assume the stone column doesn't count. You know, I rigged that up myself. Just because I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of one of those damn necrofire spells. You know. We're 9 minutes from, an actual start here. Why am I telling you this? I don't owe you anything. You owe me. Dwayne Johnson's the Scorpion King. You do realize it's like saying, I am the Cockroach King, only the roaches are stingier. Mona movie, eh? So he's sunk into porn. Well, you tell me who else is in it, I suppose it could be kind of hot. Mona. Who the hell is Asmongold? If my name was Asmongold, I'm thinking I would probably quit. Or, no, it's not in me to quit. I would change my name post-haste, though. I mean, the gold is fine, but Asmon? It's like the worst Pokemon. Or Digimon, I presume. Oh, the Cockroach King. Yeah, I just don't get it, but fine. hello, Alex. You do know that I'm only dating to associate with you all because of the description. It's all there, laid out in plain. Well, so Asmongold is the cockroach king. How does he live that down? I mean, his competition has to be so much worse somehow. But how? You paint a most unflattering picture. It's kind of impressive. This is like claiming to be the Goblin King. No one wants that title. Except the Goblin King, apparently. And no one takes them seriously. They're not even nearly that organized. This is why the women are so pliable. Hassan Piker. Okay, if Asmongold is the champion here, what does Hassan Piker mean in your world? Because it has to be so much Mongoose Queen. What do you mean, oh no, it's Ark? I'm only here because I know you all want me. Of course you do. You know, given my experience with Goblinos, Casbah, possibly less. Look, I could be wrong, but Joe at least is giving the impression that, if the species survives, it might survive mostly because any child born of a goblin is typically a goblin, regardless of the parent. You know, some philosophers have waxed at length about how eventually the goblin race will devolve down to just one species, either all male or all female. If they're all female, well, then they will be a friend to humanity forever. If they're all male, they will eventually become predatory vermin to be wiped out. And for my part, I'm backing Team Female Goblin. King of the Communists, Commie King. Horrific. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty horrific. Goblins are in Congress. They are called Democrats. Okay, kill the males, keep the females. They're very pliable to gold. Actually, they're all pliable to gold, but the male ones want gold for craftsmanship and work. The others appreciate gold for work they would potentially be willing to do for free. I, for one, feel inclined to reward skill. Jelly knows. Okay, it's time. Greetings, everyone. This one's a freebie, by the way. Don't. Focus. Focus. And welcome to the second ever Arcturus Alone. Why? Because the others had things to do, I guess. Certainly Magog did. But I was given some keys that have proven very useful in a variety of contexts. Look. Focus. Listen to me. Look, I see this is going to be a problem. Look, this shouldn't happen. I just don't know how the controls interact with things. And, well, she's a showwoman who would never, ever, couldn't go up without performing. And I would be loath to not have them do that. Quarterwork? I haven't dealt with a quarterwork in years, really. It's a bit of a tangent. Where are we? Welcome to Arcturus Alone. You probably saw the intro. Hello, I'm Arcturus of Sarthos, which you all knew. As you know, there's no side quest, but I was given leave to do this by Lord Magog, which I still hate saying, but I've gotten much better at keeping my gag reflex suppressed when I have to say it. Still chafes, but I signed the contract, which, you know, was worth it overall. Don't you judge me. You don't know what I've done to get here. I have sacrificed almost everything, including my very fear of death, which, well, was quite profound. Some of you might know. In the early days, I was so terrified of death, by poisoning especially, that I drank out of a syllabask fang. A fang taken from a syllabask. A monstrous creature that dwells in a blighted, heavily poisoned land. So poison-blighted is it that its very fang, as it kills, also purifies all toxins. A feature that extends to its fang. And it was a wonderful goblet. I don't know where the hell it went. I miss it to this day. Although, I don't know why. I still get to enjoy the taste of many poisons without any lasting effect. 2 minutes of death, half the time no one notices when it's poison. They just think I'm taking a nap. Greetings, Kaz, Cars, Fish, people, look, say you're welcome, no. You're welcome, say thank you, rather, for me being here. I didn't have to be here, you know. I chose to be here. Because I knew that with SideQuest cancelled, some of you needed more Arcturus of Sarthos in your life. And I answered the call. You're welcome, everyone. Those of you who are here hate watching, hoping to watch me die terribly, screw you. You don't have to wait for the next Tuesday to do that. That's gone. I will not die on this show. That's one of the reasons I'm doing it. If you're inclined to throw money my way, that's in the description with an explanation of how that works. You should probably do that, I guess. I expect to get a cut. I felt it. No, he felt it was necessary. That's not important. Suffice to say, with disclaimers, I understand there's something called your laws. I can take these things seriously. Your laws are absurd. All of your laws, they don't make any sense whatsoever. Well, actually, some of them do. The gun control laws make sense. I mean, if we had guns here, no one would be allowed to use them except me. It would be official all the land. At this point, even now, I could have Queen Di go out there and say, no guns for anyone except Arcturus Alone, the Black Compass. I would be the nation's sole gunslinger. Well, maybe not sole. I mean, I've got an elite guard I could probably equip with some guns. This is all moot, of course, because guns have a habit of exploding and or melting upon arrival here. People have tried. And I've tried to make my own. And the same thing happens. Apparently it's some decree of the gods or some garbage like that. Anyhow, we have 55 minutes left of this. Good, you can help the Queen of the Mongooses build this. I feel I am owed signals to address that further. Hippos, I understand, are quite impressive, though. One of the deadliest creatures in your world. Let's see. No further donations. Look, while I can't be sure of the cut I will get, I would stress all money coming into the stream rabs, the link in the description, will benefit me as well. That it must benefit those others is a price I'm grudgingly willing to pay in order to get richer myself. You people don't understand how much you contribute. The funds you send over that we convert to Signas, ooh, the appreciation. Our Signas are worth a lot more than your dollars, or Cronenbergs, or Dunning-Krugerrands. I don't know what your currency is or what it means, but why should I? Why are you mentioning likes? If you're here, you obviously like this. Who's counting? Yes. Build your own sand. I'm not going to build you I'm not going to build any of you anything. Unless, of course, you pay me well enough. In which case, I will have apprentices do that. This is, by the way, something I will let you know. Later on, we're going to show off some art that I've had my apprentices paint for us. And we're going to decide which ones are the best. And then I'll tell you which apprentices were executed afterwards. And which I've not executed, which is almost as good as paying them. Fine, then I'll build my own. You know what? I'm done taking people seriously for now. Let's have some music while I watch Jelly dance. This is apparently What is Love.
What is love, lady, thou wondest mine heart. What is love?
This is really hard for Jelly to dance to, but she's nailed it. If only you could see. Well done on using keyboards. You know, I have to say, some of you musicians in your world have quality. Precious, precious few. But some of them do. Like Hildegard von Blingen, in this case. Okay, well, then I suppose I will humor you for a bit longer again. Oh, I hate having to run to a new position before the curtains open again. I'm probably going to fix that in the future. 11 likes, really? Who cares? It should be much more, though. Honestly, I go through this trouble to present myself the only member of quality of the Wicked Guild, and there's only 11 of you who care? Really? You owe me so much more. But fortunately for you, Arcturus Alone is a generous soul, while also being ruthless, loathsome, and not to be crossed. Don't screw with me. Okay, where were we? This is a great opportunity, by the way, to ask me any question about the Wicked Guild where the others can't interrupt. This is important because they can't interrupt, which I am reveling in right now. Make no mistake. Dance? I do dance. I respectfully nod my head in tune with songs that are appropriate. Dancing is for performers, and I am not a performer, although not to besmirch performers of quality. You might wonder why I've never ever heard Jelly speak. This was part of the contract. Also, I'm pretty sure she's actually mute. Absolutely silent. Never says a word. I've never heard her so much as fart, which is impressive, because she has done a few things that really should result in some seed donation on Rumble Arc. I was not expecting that, because this is also to go through that one channel I have access. Okay, look, hopefully I can see this. Stand by while I try to find something on. Oh. Okay, apparently via Rumble, 100 signals have been thrown my way with the following message: let's get this stream started off right. Thank you. Wait, what? I mean, I'm grudgingly appreciative of this windfall of signals that is. Oh, I'm going to have to weasel out of that lab-coated fuckwit, aren't I? Is that worse than Gog, though? It's a little bit worse, mostly for the fact that he looks so much like me and I have smug, lab-coated crap weasel of a man. So superior, morally superior. I don't torture peasants. I only conduct experiments on non-humans or the thoroughly willing who've signed contracts and... Okay, this will overall result in some signals towards me. Thank you, Octane Junkie. This, by the way, if you want, you can raise this curtain like 5 times. Just throwing it out there, and I will pontificate upon whatever you want me to pontificate upon for the duration of each of those 2 minutes. It does hurt, though, to get that money out of him. I mean, it's not being compelled by a contract. I just know if I... Well, I take great solace in the fact that particular guy is incredibly gullible and pitiable and inclined to care about things like fair play. And I've kept it in mind the bargain, grudgingly. If only because I know what would happen if I didn't. I suppose it's not too different from my situation with Gog, only if I don't keep it my end with Gog, I melt or explode into green flame, or am trampled by skeletons, or he issues a command to the boulder. Okay, throwing more barleycorn will call it even. Well, that's easy to do. And I suppose I should address people who have not supported this in any way. Just wait until I can get this magic book to work, and I'll come to Voth to torment you in person. Carlos Fish, you have not been paying attention. The torments I suffered here already. The odds that you could compete with him. Oh, bless your little heart. Okay, trying to make good on the person who's actually contributing. Mina, gold up front, hippos after. Good luck getting the Voth.
I could not look thee in the eye. Thou art like an angel. Thy skin makes me cry. Thou floatst like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. That's so very special. But I am a creep. I am a weirdo. What in hell am I doing here? I do not belong here. I cannot if it hurts.
I do.
I want to have control.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
I want a perfect body.
Got that.
I want a perfect soul. I want thee to notice when I am gone.
Shut up.
That's so very special.
No, you're not.
I wish I was special.
I am.
But I am a creep.
No.
I am a weirdo. What in hell am I doing here? I do not belong here.
This clearly is about you all and not me.
She runneth out the door.
That's why you lock it.
She runneth out. She run, 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 run.
I'll have you know I'm the specialist.
so very special.
I'm specialer.
I wish I was special.
I know I am.
But I am a creep.
God's damn.
I am a weirdo.
Pierce up your nostrils till you drown.
What in hell am I doing here?
Whatever the hell I want.
I do not belong here.
I belong wherever I am.
I do not
Unless it's not a good
belong
place.
here.
In which case I don't belong there. I belong someplace better. Okay. You know what? Why am I getting up to talk to you all? It seems like effort. We'll continue the bardcore in a moment after I make sure there's been nothing else coming in from other angles that I haven't been looking at. There will be more bardcore. I hate to say it, but I would appreciate if someone through something through a guild just to make sure the Lord, my God, doesn't get pissy about it. Because if I have to extract this money out of that lab-coated jackass only to have McGog claim it, and he can, that would be so much worse. I can only bend my pride one way at a time. You bend pride two ways, rapidly, that results in pride snapping. And that's a very dangerous thing to have pride snapping. I don't know if you know about this, but some things, when they get bent too far, pop in nasty ways that result in very expensive apothecary fees. So friends have told me who go to extreme brothels and really shouldn't have. We are 6 minutes from something I really want your opinion on, but since we're not there yet, your opinion continues to mean nothing to me. So, I suppose this is the small talk segment. How have your peasant lives been? I, of course, exempt Octane from this because he's contributed heavily to my armory. Should I actually show off? You know about things popping. Oh! Sorry to hear that, Keisho. I hope it healed reasonably, and that the apothecary fees were not that heavy for you. Well, that was awkward. So, it did dawn on me that I could actually pretend to care about your daily lives and such, or I could brag gratuitously and shamelessly about the many, many weapons and tools I have at hand. Perhaps one of the most treasured, if you didn't know, was the feel key, which I got a lot of grief for calling the feel key, mostly because the people who heard it didn't know what fealty was, much less what a feel key was. Look, if it makes it easier, this is the loyal key. This key, grudgingly crafted by Magog in a desperate and ill-fated effort to replicate the skeleton key, is a key that is capable of locking anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. This includes concepts, ideas, feelings. If I were to feel happy and then use this, I could lock in perpetual happiness, but I don't want to because I have a feeling it would make me very, very apathetic. Also, I don't actually know what that feels like. If I actually ever felt happiness, then I might just use it, but fortunately for everyone involved, or me at least, that has never been the case. Anyhow, this has been incredibly useful in shaping the world I live in. With this key, it's more of a lock, really. I mean, it's locking things, it's not really opening anything. It's more lock than key at this point. I have secured forever the loyalty of Queen Di and an elite regiment of personal guard who are prepared to die for me, certain that I am perpetually right. They can't not think I'm right because I convinced them to understand that I was right and then I locked it in. Can I lock joints key? Woohoo! Okay, sure, you're a genius. I didn't think about that. I was so excited about locking in loyalty that I didn't think about locking joints. Oh, that's going to be... I'm going to experiment with that, K-Show. Thank you for that, in a rare moment of sincerity. Can I put this on a pole? It's a bit reckless. I shouldn't take it into combat, but I could. Lock. No, the key locks everything. Crushing is not something it does. Crushing is more of a feature of, let's see, where is it? Oh, yes. This side of this. This provides the crushing, but there's nothing magical about it. It just requires enough physical force, which I've demonstrated. Just not in a way that was particularly useful at the time. Can you lock it? I'm not going to finish that. And no, I don't. Quite frankly, I need to whip it out more. I'm not going to because you're not worthy. No one here is. Probably. I don't... Look, the only person who's going to get that particular view at this point is Jelly here, mostly because I trust them not. Well, you know, I have been part of a few... Okay, look, suffice to say, no one from your world is getting in on this. Could you... No, I could not lock the thief in her own boat. I would like to, don't get me wrong, and if she didn't have the actual skeleton key the loyal key was forged off of, I could. But she has the skeleton key! You touched upon something that has been haunting for some time, by the way. The field key can lock anything. The skeleton key remains capable of unlocking anything, including absolutely anything the field key has locked. Which means that, quite frankly, could unlock the loyalties of people who I've used the loyal key on. But fortunately, the thief doesn't actually give a crap about any of that. In fact, last I heard, she was still living it up on an island in the brine, having screwed the rest of us over by turning in the imp princess. Selfish bitch. Honestly, if we'd gotten the imp princess first, I could have enjoyed, the realm could have enjoyed such greater peace and prosperity through authentic diplomatic relations with the Empire. Honestly, I hate that. Sometimes, some people, some species use a pun to explain things so important that it's infuriating. Okay, Assassin the Grey, you saw the wanted poster. The imp princess was a looker. How did an entire species on Volth get misclassified as demons and succubi when they're just vaguely red skin, red horn, short. Well, not really short stack, I suppose. They're not really that thick. That honor goes to the Goblinas. And I do love me a short stack. Red hair. And I prefer the green skin over red. And I have to say, horns are a bit of a turn off for me. Just, look, some people think handlebars. I think accidental eye loss. Is this a cat's bulger? Hell if I know, but I have to say, a man spent his entire life forging the blade, so call it what you like, I just call it fun. Not magical, but rare and expensive. And thus worthy of me. Where we're going this? Oh yes, we're 2 minutes past when I was going to show something to the rest of you. For reasons, I don't know why I do this. Oh yes, that's right, because I know you all love me so much. That's why I'm doing this. Also, I know you can't kill me. Those of you who watch the show because you want to watch me die in assorted ways. Fetish? Carrot? I have no idea what you mean. I don't have fetishes. I have good taste. Good taste isn't a fetish. I can assume this only means you have poor taste, which, I pity you. But not very much. So, in any case, I took some time to commission some art from my apprentices. This particular piece is called The Inevitable Triumph of Superiority. I hope you're all enjoying it. You know, this is not that great. I had the apprentice in this case absolutely killed. The reason being is because they did not represent my gloves. I mean, honestly, bare hands? Why would I show my hands to people? They're not worthy. Also, they've got to put the lenses on Pentagast. And why am I only wearing my socks? Just revealing I'm wearing toe socks, which some people don't appreciate, but honestly, it's like a warm hug for every toe. They'll catch on eventually. Grey feet? No! Grey toe socks. As all socks should be. Do you see toenails there? There are no toenails. But through the errors we have seen presently, this is why I absolutely had that particular apprentice killed. Next up, we have this piece, which the apprentice has been allowed to live. I have misgivings. They didn't get the pants quite right, but the detail, honestly, they really, really put some blood and sweat into this, which has saved them some blood and sweat by other means. This piece, by the way, is called, I forget what it's called, but basically it boils down to I win. No, the toe socks, not bare feet. What feet are... You saw a flawed painting. This one, the detail is really quite extraordinary. I have some misgivings about the artist here, but I can't put my finger on what. I think it boils down to the fact they didn't get my glorious, perfect facial hair right. Look, I'm gonna like to show my feet to you to prove I'm live. I don't care if that's your fetish. There were no bare feet. Look, we moved on. If I'm dying from the feet up, why is it only the feet? Look, there are no feet presently visible from my end. Yes, that is very wide thrown, but that's just to stress how dominant the person sitting on it is. And also, it allows for certain displays of dominance. You know what's weirder than liking one's own feet? Caleb? Liking mine. You know what? I'm sorely tempted to stop responding to you all unless it's commissioned with signals. So this is an equally comparable piece. The apprentice here was executed mostly because they got the eyewear wrong. Honestly, it's like I'm wearing, I don't know what those are, but it's nothing like I've worn before. They got the gloves right though. And I don't know what they thought they were doing having Thieves' Hand go through Pentagast. That Pentagast isn't wearing the lenses here doesn't mean much to me. I imagine that would actually chafe him more. So screw that guy. Queen Betel, Potch, who's you know, you're perhaps being, look, Gainim, you speak very harshly of Queen Betel the Paunch, but there's nothing wrong with thickness. Perhaps you've heard the phrase, more cushion for the pushin'. That said, there's a balance to be struck. Yes, I know, this is why I had the apprentice executed, Smelly Cat. At least they didn't present my toe socks. I'm a little bit disappointed. No, Caleb, for the record, he doesn't have red jeans. The fabric is just stained. Okay, next up. Now, this is a bit of a simpler piece. It is taking great liberties with the cast in question, but I'm rendered perfectly, so I love it. This is Triumph of the Will, as I recall. No, they're just stained fabric. Look, Caleb, if you're inclined to assume that, I'm going to stop listening to you until this is commissioned otherwise. Meanwhile, I'm having some exotic issues here that you don't need to hear about. And now they're solved, and no one knows what that means or how. Dented head? No, I don't say dented head. I appreciate the princess. Broken fingers, exposed hands. Yes, that is a negative. I let the apprentice live, however, because they gave me 3 crowns, which means I'm at least 3 times as important. And that's the important part. Also, they got my sigil right on the badge in the front, which means a lot to me. And they upgraded the silver lining to gold, which is quite the positive as well. When shall you dominate the Starcast's new supreme over? What the hell is the Starcast? Serious question. What the hell is a Starcast? Starcast. Look, it's called Side Quest, Carlos Fish. Side Quest. Not Starcast. Side Quest. And I expect to dominate it in about 2 years ago. Things have not gone quite to plan, but this is merely a setback, and I'm sure in the next 5 years or so, I will have learned magic or something. Big dome, teeny tiny feet, Okay, you know what? You're making some solid points here, grudgingly. Boys! Apprentice 305, execute him! I didn't hear his reply, but I'll see to it later as necessary. Side quests of Supreme Dark Overlord are great and powerful. Magnanimous? Magnanimous? So how many little people have you met enslaved at this point? Define little people, because I've enslaved very few little people. The goblins, I have an employee, and the chief one is Jelly, by the way, who you will only see if you throw money in via the Streamlabs. Again, really shouldn't have generated that prior. I don't understand how these things work all that thoroughly yet, but I will eventually master these things. Screw you all. Right, where were we? Pentanome kind of looks like he should be holding a dagger, doesn't he? You know he does. Well, the apprentice is dead now, or will be in the near future, so let's let that slide. Next up is this piece. Please ignore the character to the far left. They're irrelevant. No one needs to care about them. She's dead to me anyway. I don't know why or how. I might have included the reference sketches to The Apprentice in a fit of nostalgia while I was a bit inebriated. And they might have gotten the tragic idea that this meant I wanted them included in the piece of art. I didn't. But I let it slide because Magog looks absolutely miserable in this. Oh, look, I have nothing to do with gnomes. That was some filthy elves' domain, and they're dead now, or at least to me, so that's a bit irrelevant. Look, pay no attention to the character on the far left. It's not relevant. They are no one. No one needs to care about them, just like you shouldn't care about the rest of them. The only character of importance is the one front and center, me. I'm not quite sure why they incorporated novelty hat in the crown, and I'm still pretty mad about the exposed hands. But I did give the apprentice a pass here as well, although maybe I shouldn't have. Of course you don't call Lefty, because Lefty shouldn't have been there. I just shouldn't have sent out the orders while I was still drunk. You know, even perfect people make mistakes sometimes, and this was a perfect whoopsie-doopsie. Well, lady, Katrina the Sorrowhouse is dead to me, and is definitely not in the far left. Perish the thought. Absolutely not. Moving on. Okay, this is a more... I don't know why the hell my apprentices thought that I really wanted to show off my hands. Apparently, having ungloved hands is a magnanimous gesture of... Magnanimous, I hate that word so much. Magnanimous. Magnanimous! Anyhow, otherwise, this was perfect. And even if they did tragically make me look awfully much shorter than I am, They made Thief and Pendergast so much Oompa Loompa-ish, which is, by the way, perfectly accurate in Thief's case. I mean, she's tiny. Just, wee, oh, look at that little thief. Oh. Yes, they didn't quite spell surf right, Ganem. But he's a surf. He's absolutely a surf. He's McGog's surf. And we don't call him a surf typically, but he's a surf. He's as surf can be. And that cucumber on his shoulder, that was personally requested. They nailed it. The cucumber on the shoulder was so good. Oh, you have no idea. Deep lore, yes, but he knows. He knows why the cucumber is there. If he saw this, which he hasn't. Okay, Kalik has paid 10 signas to compel me to say, why Putin? I have no idea why. Yes, Thief looks like she has Down syndrome. That was a major plus. I don't know what Down syndrome is, but it kind of sounds like mental debility, and obviously. And finally, look, the main reason this is here is because the gloves are on, everyone's shorter, and I've never seen McGog look stupider. I mean, he's a deformed, crippled Luddite of some kind. And Thief is partially buried in the ground, you know, living under a rock. Where's the broccoli? Where's the broccoli come into this? I love broccoli. Broccoli's delicious. So suffice to say, this apprentice gets to live, although they did not properly represent my full stature at 6.5? Yes, 6.5. I'm nearly 7 feet tall. Unlike the Thief, who is about 4 feet, McGog, who would be like 6 feet if he wasn't a malformed lump of genetic failure, and Pendergast, who is basically a dwarf. Except he's not good at smithing. And I'm actually not sure he's better at me than alchemy. Mostly because he really enjoys way too much of his own supply. Well, that's enough sharing my largesse and wealth of artistic reserves with you all, especially unpaid. Thank you, Kaylit, for your endorsement of the Wicked Guild, which I am part of. Obligatorily at this point, because I signed a contract. And if he wanted me to die, you'll have to wait till next Tuesday to not do that and instead express your appreciation for me. Arcturus Alone, you know, the person who arranged this for you where there wasn't a side quest, at which point you should kill them all so that you can instead watch me and talk to me, just to you, and not them, who should languish in silence forever, ideally, but at least 2 minutes at a time. We've got 9 minutes left before I need to shut this down due to contractual obligations, and mostly I'm just glad that none of you could kill me. Jelly Jelly would never. She just likes to be watched. She's a bit of an exhibitionist, which I've enjoyed immensely. I've had to leverage that against her in some ways, in the hopes that you would actually pay to see more of her. But she's always dancing back there. Always. Just in the hopes. You know, it's really quite cruel of you not to encourage her more, although at the same time, I'm a bit conflicted here because every time that curtain raises, you should be watching me because I'm saying something important. I mean, ostensibly, that's why you killed the rest of them. You got the majority of likes, unlike the side quest. Hey, well, there we go. This has been a colossal success, and I expected nothing less. After all, I am Arcturus Alone, the light of civilization on Voth. No, light of civilization, period. I've seen your world. I could probably get elected. Rule it as a whole? I don't know. You've got some steep competition. Look, I freely admit it. I'm a villain. I'm a shameless villain. This is where the power lies. The goblin instrument is distracting you from that breath instinct. Assassin the Grey, your imagination is extraordinary. I have great respect for your imagination. It is imagination. Just kill the people I tell you to kill, and really stop there, won't you? Honestly, what do you have against imps anyway? Look, if they were actually demon kind, I might actually agree with you, but I know for a fact they're not now. I thought they were, actually. When the succubus turned up, I actually exempted myself from the royal orgy because, well, I didn't need more claimants on my soul, really. But, man, watching her go to work. Oh, gods, what talent. And more importantly, I noted that the nobles she banged there. Well, they kept their souls. I know this objectively. Alexander has tipped Alex, do you look? I don't know what you actually threw towards side quest, but we're going to assume it is sufficient for 2 minutes of pontification. What is the topic, Alex? I still have room left on it, so quite frankly, my soul is pre-claimed, but I really don't want too much of a tug-of-war over it. If there's a tug-of-war over my soul, I'm a bit concerned it might eventually rip, and I don't want that. Somehow that feels worse. I'm just glad I've never been captured by the enemy. I never would be. I'm just too damn smart for that. What an embarrassment that would be. I mean, imagine if you have someone thoroughly secured in your own control to torture them at great length, you can eventually break them to your will. I know this. I've done it many times. Many hilarious times. Fortunately, it's never happened to me. That's important. Topic is peasants. Excellent topic, Alex. Okay, to make good on your request, remember, focus on me. Ignore Jelly. Look, she's gorgeous. She's doing her best. But the important thing is what I'm saying. And I'm saying peasants. Peasants. The lowest rung on the social ladder. The salt of the earth. The common people. The idiots. Look, they have their purpose. They do things like farm and shit. Presumably this is very important to keeping them fed. Which is important because you need some of them to join an army and go to war on your behest. The important thing about peasants is to keep in mind they are, well, first off, staggeringly idiotic, and by design, ignorant in the extreme. Very few are capable of reading. In my foolish youth, I once thought the way to make a better world is to educate peasants. Then I educated some peasants, and they stabbed me in the back. Now, I stab anyone who wants to educate peasants, and this has generally been a better course of action. There's just too much effort to be taken in trying to educate the peasants out of being idiots. You need generations. Generations, like taming wolves into dogs. Yes, you can tame the first generation to a point, make them inclined to stay around society, collaborate to a degree, but the moment you give them too much rope, they try to strangle you with it. No, that's not quarter work. I remember quarter work. Quarter work is dead to me. And I'm dead to quarter work. And this doesn't bother me in the slightest because quarter work is not meaningfully human. 18 likes. Okay, that's not nearly enough. Like, we have 2 minutes left, and it's not 300 likes, you slackers. I do not feel appreciated. Worship me! Do you not see what I'm doing here? Do you not see my back straining under the weight of holding all of this up with my own bare hands, like Ryan Reynolds keeping up the Marvel? Oh, never mind. It could be a problem in society if you advance it too much. Yeah, well, obviously. Okay, fine. I didn't need your like. I don't need anyone to like me. I like me enough. I like me 3 times as much as any of you do, so there. I'm very successful. People obligated to love me. And that's at least as much worth as actual love. I mean, which I have plenty of. I buy lots of it regularly. I don't need this. Look, no one loves you. I'm fine.